I had told y'all about Bobby a long time ago. He lives right here. He's from Gee's Bend, Alabama. We're gonna get in this creek, but I always stop by when I'm in the area, and I ain't telling y'all this so you can say good job, because that doesn't matter to me. He's from Gee's Bend area. He's got a brother. He don't know where his brother is. He's lost contact with all his family. So I just bring him some drinks and see if he wants to go anywhere or do anything when I'm over here. And of course he doesn't, but he did say I'm the only one that stops and checks on him. But he's kind of way out of the way. I mean, I'm way out in the middle of the ham here. But we're gonna get in this creek, and I'll go see him again. I'll tell him I mean, the bus ticket or a train ticket don't cost much, so if we can find family, we can get him back down there maybe. Let's go down here and see if there's anything new. This is where I brought my bride a few times, and see so many snakes, so I brought Herping Alabama back over with me, and he went nuts. There were so many snakes over here. But what I do, I know that was an odd introduction, but for those of you who follow me on Facebook and check out my reels and pictures and all that goofy stuff, you know Bobby, that's where he lives, in that little box. It's about 96 degrees right now, and he said he didn't need anything. I mean, I gave him what I could give him, and anyway, breaks my heart. But let's go play and look for something, and we'll check on Bobby again every time we get to this creek. I know I've been here a lot, but I'll stop back by as much as I can, talk to Bobby and see what he's got going on. What is that? Oh, never mind. That's a piece of that's a piece of railroad tracks upside down. I don't have your glasses. I managed to lose them. And if you're just joining the channel, what we do is we get in creeks. I say we, it's me and y'all. We get in creeks and we look for anything and everything that we can find. Usually in this creek, there's not much except snakes. And one just swam up there. Other than some cool bricks. There's some pretty awesome bricks in this creek. If you don't have a problem hauling bricks out of a creek. We went down the other way a few times. Not much down there and not much up here, but you never know. All it takes is one or two good floods and you may find something of interest. I know last time I talked about, I'm gonna talk about Bobby again. Last time I talked about Bobby, I got several messages and emails about people who were thankful that I did it, and that's awesome. But what's even more awesome is they told me, sorry, I'm rolling my sleeves up because it's so hot, and I've already got the world's goofiest tan, barely. It starts here and goes to here, and that's about as good as it gets for my body. And then of course my neck and arms. But anyway, that's not important right now. But what they did, they emailed me and messaged me and everything and told me that they were once homeless. So there's this guy on Facebook Reels. He's on YouTube too, and he's got, you know, a bazillion followers, subscribers. And he goes, and of course he gives people money and stuff, and that's the easy part. It's easy to hand somebody $1 or $5, $10, $50, whatever you can do. The hard part is what he does. He loads them up if they want to go with him, and he takes them and gives them a day out and buys them clothes, takes them to eat, gets their hair cut, takes them to get showers, everything. I don't have the financial means to do that, as much as he does. I could every now and then, but he's got so many followers on Facebook, on Reels, and on, I suppose, probably Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. He's got a pile that he makes pretty good money, but he gives, it looks like so much of it back. It's just pretty cool. I wish I could tell you his name or who he is, but I don't remember that. If I remember it next time, I will tell you. It's Americana Railroadiana sign with nothing on it. That's a bummer. That'd be cool if it said something really interesting. We would probably have to harvest. I probably told y'all this story in the past. I've helped you. I've spent time. I don't want to say help because it seems like I'm wanting y'all to say good job, but I don't. Because anybody can do what they want to do. But I've spent time with a lot of homeless people. Look at this copper. And one guy I worked with for a while, or helped as much as I could. Did I tell you about? Yeah, I told you about him. That ain't copper. It's a piece of rubber. We'll harvest nonetheless. He was from Guatemala, and he said I got saved through a Billy Graham crusade. I think it was in the 50s. I don't see anything in here. So I worked with him, and he drank a lot. I took him to eat. I told y'all this story, but I'm gonna tell you again. Took him to McDonald's in the middle of the night, because they used to be open 24 hours a day. Remember when that happened? When McDonald's was open 24 hours and Walmart was open 24 hours? For 24 hours straight, you could go buy packs of gum or whatever you wanted. So I took him. I didn't have much money. I didn't have hardly any money back then. And we bought one drink, one cheeseburger, and one small French fries. This was back in the 1900s. And when we got the food and sat down, he couldn't speak English real well. And the only Spanish I knew was what I learned on the trolleys or streetcars in San Diego. So all I could say is where the next stop is going to be, and then name the town. So I can do that with a lot of stops. But anyway, pretty useless Spanish. He picked up the hamburger and offered me about it, and I said no thank you. And he took his dirty hands, ripped it in half, and handed me half of it. Now he was starving. And he wadded up the whole half of his and stuck it in his mouth. So I ate mine. We shared the drink and the fries. Didn't bother me a bit. But I spent time with him, watching him and trying to encourage him to not drink. We just hand signals and hand signs, and he would stand at a local Salvation Army every now and then, but he got kicked out because he would drink. You can't stay at Salvation Army if you continually drink or do drugs. So I hadn't seen him in a while in his regular spots, and I went back, went to Salvation Army, and I asked about him. I said, have y'all seen him? And they said, nah, he left here drunk one night and got kicked out. And then I saw him a few days later. He was pushing his bicycle down the side of the road, and he was drunk, and he fell over in this grass. So I went and stopped and talked to him, and he had drank so much, it's just hard to talk to him. So I gave him his space, and I went looking for him again. And he had his Bible in his little basket on his bicycle. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it looks like a piece of an oil filter, the inside cap of an oil filter. Maybe not. We will harvest nonetheless. So The next day, I went looking for him back down to Salvation Army because people knew him there. And they said he got drunk. Spiderweb, spiderweb. Anyway, he got drunk and got on the interstate on his bicycle. And this is where it gets tragic. He got ran over by an 18-wheeler riding down the middle of the interstate in the middle of the night on a bicycle. And I was like, nah, I didn't believe the story. Spiderweb. So I went to the police department. And this triggered me. I don't get triggered much anymore. But I asked this cop. He said, yeah, some nasty old drunk homeless man got run over on the interstate by an 18-wheeler. Probably the best thing ever happened to him or something rude like that. That's a rock. And then I saw it in the paper. And it was true. So it's hard helping people if that's not what your calling is. I take care of my dad, my elderly dad, but it's not like my calling to be a caretaker, because it's tough dealing with him. You know, he's old school. It's his way or the highway, even when he has needs. But nonetheless, I do what I do. We're not finding anything. We're just walking and yakking. So we better take this brick, because there's nothing here to harvest. The whole point of the whole story is you help who you can without looking back and wondering what they're going to do with the money. And I don't consider, I've heard people say, well, you're just enabling them. No, I'm not. If they're hungry, I try to feed them. If they're thirsty, I give them something to drink. And if they're cold, I give them my coat. And I got a bunch of coats. There's a place up in North Alabama called Unclaimed Baggage. It used to be pretty cool. It's a little different now. But you can buy coats really cheap. So you can go to a place like that and buy a whole bunch of jackets. And in the winter, just throw them in your wagon, in the trunk, or the bed of your truck. And you go give them to people. You gotta find something. It is so hot out here. And I'm not finding anything to share with y'all. I've got nothing good. So I guess that's it. I guess we need to find a different creek. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook. You can see the reels, just little quick clips of things I find in city creeks that are better than this one. But go there and follow me on Facebook if you get bored. And don't forget to like and follow me on or subscribe here on YouTube. Thanks for watching my videos.